What's up, Barbarians? We just had the Campfire chat for Season 9, and I am very excited for the changes for the Nightmare Dungeons. I think the strong rooms are going to be really interesting, and I like that they're trying to make Nightmare Dungeons better for the game. Right now, I only use Nightmare Dungeons just to test my build before I go into the pit. This is going to be a great change, and I'm very excited to try it. Along with this thing here for the Escalating Dungeons system, this sounds really cool, how we can link 3 dungeons in a row and get better rewards for them as well. I am looking forward to the changes of the Nightmare Dungeons. I think this is a really cool change, and I can't wait to try it in the PTR. Then for the seasonal aspect, we have Herodic Spell Crafting. I feel like I'm on the fence about this, but I'm excited to give it a try. So you can have one catalyst linked to any skill, and we buff it in 3 different ways, and we pick a damage type that we want that spell to do. And I noticed there isn't a physical one. We have everything but physical. We have fire, shadow, cold, poison, lightning, but no physical. That part is a little crappy, because as Barbs, we do mainly physical damage and a little bit of fire with the Ugly Bastard helmet. But I'm excited to see how this works and play with the system. It looks interesting, looks promising, and I want to give it a try. One thing I also found really interesting is the unique jewels. One I have my eye on is Tyrant Bane. They said this is just like Bane of the Stricken, which is a great gem from D3, and this one is strictly for damage over time builds. And as we know, damage over time builds do struggle. This, I hope, will make Rend somewhat in a good position. One can hope. But I'll be looking to get my hands on that for the PTR to give Rend a try. Next for the Barbarian changes. First off, the new boots, the Hooves of the Mountain God, look interesting. Movement speed, basic attack speed, fury per second, and ranks to belligerence. Those boots seem pretty solid. When reaching maximum resource, our fury will rapidly drain until we run out, and your basic skills now cleave for 70 to 100% increased damage. I like that they want to make basic skills cleave, but that also leaves me wondering, what are they going to do with core skills? Right now, they are buffing the basic skills, and they're kind of turning them into core skills. Our basic skills now deal significant damage. Frenzy goes from 30 to 70, Lunging Strike goes from 33 to 90, Bash goes from 33 to 90, and Flay goes from 48 to 115. Pretty sure that the damage over time to 115 is where Rend actually starts its damage. So that's an interesting change. Bash and Lunging Strike are pretty close to Hammer of the Ancients, because as it was at 98%. They are buffing up to 110, but that's quite a significant change, and Frenzy is now getting close to double swing. With this in mind, and with many ways to buff the basic skills, I feel the basic skills are definitely going to be meta for Season 9, and I feel that the core skills are going to be left in the dust. There's easier ways to boost our basic skills than it is with some core skills. I feel Upheaval's going to be in the dust. Rend always has and is in the dust. And now Double Swing, with the changes to that and Twin Strikes, Double Swing is in a decent spot, but will Frenzy take that spot over with Frenzy being so powerful and now being able to cleave? So this is something I'm definitely looking at trying for the PTR, is trying Frenzy over Double Strike and comparing those two, comparing Flay with Rend, and also trying out Upheaval yet again, because Overpower is getting a massive nerf. We are losing 80% of the damage that we get with Overpowers. In my last Upheaval build, we were getting pretty consistently 3 to 5 billion per hit. It went up to about 10, went to as low as about 2 billion. With that 80% nerf, how is that going to look with the way they are scaling the pits right now? I feel like Upheaval is going to be in the gutter. I'm definitely going to give feedback on that. Also, the Barbarian did not get any key passive increases. I was kind of hoping that the Walking Arsenal would get a buff, maybe Unbridled Rage, but no such luck. We did get a nerf to the Ugly Bastard helmet. The Ugly Bastard helmet now requires Wrath of the Berserker instead of Berserking to be active to convert your damage to fire. This is a massive nerf to the Ugly Bastard helmet. This went from best in slot to only going to be usable with certain builds. Not a very good change. And with our Paragon board, most of our boards got a decent change, but Decimator did not. With the Hemorrhage board, now applying a bleed to a vulnerable enemy just increases your damage by 45% instead of having to scale your vulnerable damage. I think that's a decent change, and it's going to help us put different tempers on our bleed weapons. Blood Rage got the similar change. You gain 45% increased damage while berserking. Now we don't need to stack damage while berserking. I think that's a positive change, and it gives more tempers that we can stack on our build instead of having to hit these numbers and hit these caps. I think those changes are great. I feel the Carnage board now needs a little love. Berserking now additionally grants 15% attack speed. That seems a little lackluster compared to the Walking Arsenal bonus, which gives attack speed, or just getting attack speed on a ring. Like that 15% attack speed, and you have to be berserking. You could easily get 15% attack speed on a ring, and this now is useless. Carnage needs a rework. Decimator also got a 20% damage nerf. So previously, when making an enemy vulnerable, your damage is increased by 20% for 5 seconds, and overpowering a vulnerable enemy grants an additional 20% bonus multiplicative for 5 seconds. That was great. It now reads, you deal 20% increased damage to vulnerable enemies, and our overpowers deal 20% increased damage, actually losing a 20% bonus on the Decimator board. That doesn't feel good. Flawless Technique also got a mild change, but it also needs a buff as well. Consecutively attacking with the same weapon increases your critical strike chance by 15% for 4 seconds. That's good, but No Mercy gives us 12, and we only need to take 3 skill points. And really, something like Blood Rage is way better. Or Weapon Master, which gives us another 30% bonus. So I feel like they're going to have to buff these in the future. Force of Nature Legendary Note also got a nerf. Our Earthquakes now deal 45% increased damage. Instead of being capped at 200, it is now capped at 45. Overall, the changes to Season 9 are interesting. I think there's a lot of positive changes with the Nightmare Dungeons that I'm very excited to play. I feel basic skills are definitely going to be meta. Other than that, we're getting a nerf to Earthquakes. We are getting kind of a nerf to core skills because the basic skills are now acting like core skills. And we're getting a nerf to the Ugly Bastard Helmet, which is a staple in a lot of builds for a lot of people, including myself. And there's not too many other buffs. We didn't get any key passive buffs. The only buff in the core skill category was Hammer of the Ancients. But Hammer of the Ancients at the moment still uses Earthquakes. So these changes are kind of interesting, kind of puzzling to be honest. But I am excited to see how it plays on the PTR, and I'm excited to give feedback so we can kind of make some more changes in a positive direction. And I look forward to the changes of the Nightmare Dungeons. What did you guys think of the Campfire chat? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Are you kind of in the middle like me where it seems like I'm not quite sure why they're doing some of these changes, but I'm willing to test it out? Let me know what you guys think of it, and I will have more videos of the PTR once it goes live and tell you my thoughts. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.